A few years ago, we created Mr. Gnome here, and we thought it would be a fun exercise to create a friend for him. So we created Luna here, and we think she's pretty cute. So if you keep watching, we'll show you how we created her. For the base, we'll be using an 8x8 canvas. The base of Luna is essentially a circular shape, so the base needs to be large and sturdy. Holes were cut in each corner to aid in consistent drying. The canvas was flipped and then tightly packed with clay until level with the top of the wood stretches. An old brush is then inserted into the clay. And then more clay is packed around the base. Projects like this tend to use a lot of clay, and one way that you can use less clay is to create a core with aluminium foil. This can then be pushed through the long brush handle. More clay can then be packed around the foil into a cone shape and it can be smoothed off. If you're into projects like this one, subscribe to Creative Connection. You can get heaps of inspo, ideas, tips and tricks delivered directly to your inbox, and it's all for free. We can then begin to detail our friend by adding clay over the top of our core clay. So a thick slab of clay is wrapped around 3/4 of the way up and smoothed off. Have you created one of our projects? Make sure you send us a photo. We love seeing your creations. To suggest pleats in our friend's dress, we use a large round loop tool and carve out areas around the dress. As we do this, we leave an equal distance between each hollow. The high parts can then be rounded off and smoothed. A small area is then cut away to create a gap between the hem and the dress and the base. We then create a small rectangular sheet and apply it to the front of our friend's dress. Gently press it into the grooves. This will be our friend's waist apron. The upper body is then added and shaped smooth. The arms are simplified tubes applied to the shoulder and blended in. The area for the hands can be flattened out and a thumb and 4 fingers can be sculpted. Any sculptural project like the hands and feet are always the most troublesome, I find. Just persevere until you're happy with how they look. One thing I have found which has helped me in smoothing out clay is using a clean, large Taklon filbert. Now we can create the face. To do this, we pack some soft clay onto the area where we want it to be. This is where you may like to print out some reference material. Creating female structure, I think, requires making some of the elements smaller or more dainty, if you like. Because we are creating a gnome, we need to take into account that the features need to be characterized. For example, the nose is small, but the eyes are larger in comparison. And we have made the cheeks more chubby and the jawline has been rounded. So we begin by creating the sockets with thumbs. Remember to make them as even as you can. I like to then add the eyes and blend them in. We then refine it all. plats are made from 3 rolls of clay that get platted and pressed against the head, and the ends are then pressed against the body and through the arms. The pointed hat can be made by rolling out a sheet of clay and wrapping it around the head to form a conical shape, and then smooth it all so the joint is not visible. You may find in the drying stage that some cracks will form. This is perfectly normal for air drying clay and can be fixed by refilling the cracks. Obviously, it is best to wait for the clay to become bone dry before any filling is done, as that way no more cracks will appear. Once our friend is dry and any cracks have been filled, we can paint her. Our friend's cap is painted in with brilliant red in Satin series. The face is painted in with a mix of yellow pink and titanium white. The dress is painted with a couple of coats of pearl sapphire. This is from the Dimension range and has a nice metallic pearl shimmer to it. The apron is painted white. The hair is painted with a mixture of lemon yellow and titanium white. Then the eyes can be painted in blues. The base is painted with a couple of coats of sap green. Well, thanks for watching. We hope you are inspired to create your own gnome. Say goodbye to Art Block and hello to the Creative Connection. We're always thinking of new ways to keep you inspired. So subscribe to get project ideas, lesson, inspo and more sent directly to your inbox.